Hello students, how you all are? Today I am going to start a new lesson. The name of the lesson is My Childhood. It is lesson number 6 of class 9 from the book Beehive. It is not about my childhood, it is about the childhood of our former president, Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam. But before I proceed to the main part of the lesson, I will request all of you to subscribe our school channel for getting the new notifications. In this lesson, Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam had discussed about his childhood, and this extract has been taken from his autobiography, Wings of Fire. I'm sure you have heard about the book Wings of Fire. It is a very famous book, and I'm sure also that most of you have read this book also. So in this lesson, we will only discuss about his childhood. But if you want to read the whole life history of Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam, then you have to read this book, Wings of Fire. The picture what you are seeing on your screen is of our former president, Dr. Kalam, and this name needs no introduction. Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam, whose projects in space, defense and nuclear technology guided India into 21st century, he became our 11th president in 2002. His full name was Abul Pakir Jainulabdin Abdul Kalam, and he was an Indian aerospace scientist and a great politician. He studied physics and aerospace engineering. He was born and raised in a middle class family in Rameshwaram, Tamil Nadu, and he was born on 15th of October 1931 in Rameshwaram. Abdul Kalam's father name was Jainulabdin. He had neither much formal education nor much wealth, but he possessed with great wisdom. Kalam's mother's name was Ashiama, and his father had an ideal helpmate in Kalam's mother. Kalam writes in his autobiography that every day his mother used to feed more people than the family members at home. That means that his mother was very kind-hearted and great lady. Kalam was a short boy with undistinguished looks, and he was born to a tall and handsome parents. That means both his father and mother were good looking. And he used to live with his family in an ancestral house made by his grandfather or great grandfathers in the middle of 19th century. And Kalam had a very secure childhood. He didn't face any problem in his childhood. When Kalam was just 8 years old, the Second World War broke. And as the Second World War broke, there was a sudden increase in the demand of tamarind seeds. Tamarind, all of you, in Hindi we call it imli. There was a sudden increase in the demand of tamarind seeds. This is for two reasons. First, the tamarind seeds were roasted to make tamarind kernel powder, which was used as a seasoning agent for textile like jute and cotton. And the second was, it was also used as a major fuel for producing gasogen units that powered Indian cars and trucks. So for these two reasons, there was sudden increase in the demand of tamarind seeds. So Kalam's house was on the Mosque Street of Rameshwaram. So he used to collect the seeds, tamarind seeds, and sell them to a provision store in Mosque Street. As their house was in isolated area, so that area was completely unaffected by the war. But soon, India was also forced to join the Allied forces, and the state of emergency was declared. Whenever the country is in war, the country used to declare an emergency. The state of emergency was declared. And the first casualty came in the form of the suspension of the train halt at Rameshwaram station. The train which used to halt at Rameshwaram station, it was suspended. So in that train, the newspaper used to come. The name of the newspaper was Dinamani, So that Dinamani newspaper used to come in that train. But as the halt was suspended, so now the bundles of newspaper has to be thrown out of the train. So Kalam had a cousin, his name was Shamsuddin. He used to do the work of distributing paper in the town. But as now the paper were thrown out of the train, the bundles, so you need one person to help him. So for that he approached Dr. Kalam and offered him that if he'll help him, he'll pay him some money. So now Kalam started helping his cousin in catching those bundles when they were thrown out of the train. And for that he used to get some money. So when he wrote this autobiography 50 years later, this incident, he still feels that pride and that happiness which he got when he earned his first wages. So his cousin Shamsuddin helped him in earning his first wages. Dr. Kalam writes that he inherited honesty and discipline from his father and goodness and deep kindness from his mother. Kalam had 3 childhood friends, and they were Ramananda Shastri, Aravindam and Shiva Prakashan. All these 3 boys belong to orthodox Hindu Brahmin families, and though they belong to Hindu families and Kalam was a Muslim, but they never felt any difference amongst them because of their religious differences and upbringing. Ramanand Shastri was the son of Pakshi Lakshmana Shastri, the high priest of the Rameshwaram temple. Later on, he took over the priesthood of the Rameshwaram temple from his father. Aravindam went into business of arranging transports for visiting pilgrims, and Shiva Prakashan became a catering contractor for the Southern Railways. So all these 4 boys, 3 Brahmin boys and 1 Muslim boy, Dr. Kalam, they used to go to school together and used to sit in the first bench together. In the meanwhile, it happened that a new teacher came when Kalam was in 5th standard in elementary school in their class. And he was a Hindu teacher, orthodox Hindu teacher. And he noticed that a Muslim boy is sitting with 3 Brahmin boys. Dr. Kalam used to wear that white cap which Muslim used to wear, and these 3 Brahmin boys used to wear that sacred thread which we call Janev. So when he saw that a Muslim boy is sitting with 3 Brahmin boys, he could not digest this, and he ordered Dr. Kalam that you leave the first bench and go and sit in the last bench. When teacher said to leave the first bench and go and sit in the last bench, Kalam became very sad. Even his 3 friends also, they became very sad. And Ramanand Shastri started weeping. And Dr. Kalam went and sat on the last bench. And in his autobiography, Dr. Kalam writes that after half century, I still remember the image of his weeping, the way he was weeping because he was so sad. When all these 4 children, they went home, they told this incident to their parents. And in Rameshwaram, all people used to live with brotherhood and harmony. So when they told this incident to their parents, Ramanand Shastri's father, who was the head priest in the Rameshwaram temple, he became very angry and he summoned the teacher. And he, in front of all these 4 boys, he told him that not to spread the poison of social inequality and communal intolerance in the mind of these innocent children. And the teacher accepted his mistake. However, Dr. Kalam had a science teacher whose name was Siva Subramanya Iyer. He was also an orthodox Brahmin and he had a conservative wife. But he was not like his previous teacher. He was a very good human being. So he used to spend hours with Kalam and used to tell him that, Kalam, I want you to develop so that you are on par with the highly educated people of big cities. His science teacher wanted that Kalam should go for higher studies. He should develop himself. So one day, his science teacher, Mr. Iyer, he invited him to have meal in his house. When Mr. Iyer's wife, who was very conservative, she came to know that her husband has invited a Muslim boy to have meal with him in her house. She became furious. She could not digest that how come a Muslim boy can come and have meal in her house, in her ritually pure kitchen. So she denied that she will not serve him. But when Kalam came, he writes that my teacher, he served me, sat beside me, and both of us we had meal together. While his wife was sitting behind the door and watching them. When Kalam left, again his teacher invited him to have dinner with him next week. But as his teacher's wife was not happy to see him in her house, so Kalam was hesitating to come again. So in this, his teacher said that Kalam, once you decide to change the system, such problems have to be confronted. And it is very true also. Whenever in the society or among ourselves we try to change something, we have to face some problems. So when his teacher consoled him, again he came after a week to have dinner with the teacher, and this time he saw a huge change in the behavior of his wife. His wife took him inside and served him with her both hands. And in the meanwhile, the Second World War was over and India's freedom was imminent. And Gandhiji declared that Indians will build their own India. Listening to this, Dr. Kalam, filled with optimism, a sense of positivity came into him, and he seek the permission from his father to leave Rameshwaram and study at the district headquarters in Ramanantapuram. Because for higher studies, Kalam need to go to the district headquarters as Ramanantapuram to seek the permission from his father. Father gave permission and said, Abul, I know you have to go away to grow. And the father agreed, and he came and told his mother that Kalam want to go to district headquarters at Ramanantapuram. His mother became little sad. So when his father saw that the mother is sad, he quoted Khalil Gibran and he said that your children are not your children. They came through you but not from you. You may give them your love but not your thoughts, for they have their own thoughts. And in this way, Kalam left to the district headquarters, Ramanantapuram, to achieve his goal and for the higher studies. So students, in this lesson we have studied only about the childhood of Dr. Kalam, that how he grew up and how he did his schooling, after schooling where he went. And if you want to know the whole life history of Dr. Kalam, you have to read the books Wings of Fire. So the author of this lesson is Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam himself. Dr. Kalam was popularly known as Missile Man, as he was a great scientist, and he spent 4 decades as scientist and science administrator at the DRDO and ISRO. For this, he was awarded with Padma Vibhushan, and the highest civilian award, Bharat Ratna. Or in other words, we can say that Dr. Kalam was a true Ratna of India. When he completed his tenure as a president in 2007, he was again offered the second term as a president, which he denied. And after completing his tenure as a president, he used to go to different schools and colleges and used to deliver the lectures because he believed that students are the future of the country. Today's students only can lead India to a developed nation in future. He used to talk to the students. He used to have a question answer session in which student used to ask him question and he used to answer them. And while delivering the lecture at IIM Shillong, Indian Institute of Management Shillong, Kalam collapsed and left for heavenly abode due to an apparent cardiac arrest on 27th of July 2015, aged 83. He was buried in his hometown with full state honors, Rameshwaram. A number of dignitaries, a number of great politicians, they attended his funeral to pay respect to this great leader. Kalam lived a simple and frugal life. After he demitted office, government allotted him a bungalow at 10 Rajaji Marg, New Delhi. This two-story house lies desolate today itself. And the man who served more than 4 decades in public service and including one stint as the president of the country, left behind 2,500 books, a wristwatch, 6 shirts, 4 trousers, 3 suits, and a pair of shoes. Dr. Kalam never lived a luxurious life. He never accumulated wealth. Because if you want to be successful in your life, you don't have to be a rich man. What you need is a single-minded devotion towards the goal. He survived on the royalty that he received from his books he authored and his pension what he got from the government. He was very firm about not receiving any personal gifts, and even as the president, the smallest of gifts given to him by foreign government were duly tabulated and sent to government's toshakhana. So such a simple life he lived. So students, I hope that this extract of Dr. Kalam's life has inspired you. Surely it has inspired you. You have learnt many things from this lesson. And Kalam said that we all should see dreams, because dreams are transformed into thoughts and thoughts are transformed into action. Some of his famous quotes are that if you want to shine like a sun, you have to burn like a sun. Second, never be discouraged if you fail, because the fail word itself means first attempt in learning. Third, he said that don't stop after your first success, because if you stop after your first success, more lips are waiting to say that your first success was just luck. So student, today we have learnt about this great personality, a true patriot, a true son of India who devoted his life serving the country. And I hope that whatever today you have learnt, you will try to follow it in your life, and that will be the true tribute to this great leader. At the end of the lesson, some question answers are there. The first question is, where was Abdul Kalam's house? So the answer is, his house was on the Moth Street in Rameshwaram. Second question, what do you think Dinamani is the name of? Give a reason for your answer. As I said, that Dinamani is the name of the newspaper, and Kalam attempt to trace the Second World War news in the headline of the newspaper, because that time there was no print media, social media, only there was print media, so he used to get all the informations from the newspaper. Third question, how did Kalam earn his first wages? So he earned his first wages by distributing newspaper. Fourth question, why did Kalam want to leave Rameshwaram? So Kalam wanted to leave Rameshwaram to study at district headquarters, Ramananthapuram. Fifth question, what characteristics Kalam inherited from his parents? The answer is, he inherited humility and benevolence from his parents. And sixth question, why there was sudden increase in the demand of tamarind seed during Second World War? So tamarind seeds were used as a major fuel for producer gasogen units that powered Indian cars and trucks during World War II. So all these question answers, all the students please write in your copy and learn them, and hope that you all have enjoyed this lesson. Thank you.